All right, welcome back to the Sports Grill here in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. DJ Yokley, Steve Leslie, and we are joined. No, listen, we got to give the "We Are Not Worthy" because he is the state champion in golf. Rocco Turner from Cardinal Mooney. Rocco, thank you so much for joining us here today. And I know you're eating good. I know you're playing well, and you're getting ready for hoop season. But let's talk about golf, man. That last run that you went on. One of the questions that I had. When we were going to have you on. It wasn't a question of would we, it was when we. Going into that last stretch, like towards the state championship, your confidence had to be at an all-time high because I think you knew you were going to win that ship, right?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I had the talent and the ability to do it. It was just putting 2 rounds together when it mattered over all the adversity.
Do you feel like you saved your best rounds for the championship rounds?
Yeah, I mean, because I didn't really shoot a good number at districts, but we made it as a team. So I was kind of happy to get that round out of the way, but still advance, and then save the good rounds for the end.
So you're talking to a guy that's never had the experience of winning a state championship. What is that feeling like of holding the trophy and knowing you are better than anybody else in the entire state? And if they were to put a national contest together, I think you'd be ranked up there as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, at the beginning, it was kind of like just shock. Like when I walked off the green, there was still a couple kids left, so just trying to not get too high. And then, but once all the scores came in, and I kind of knew I had it, I was just a little bit shocked, but at the same time, I knew I could do it. So it was kind of just a good feeling to know that you knew you could do it, and then you got the job done on top of it.
You're a mellow dude, right? You are as even keel as it gets. Did you get excited a little bit? Like, did you like a fist pump, like anything? Like, what did you do?
Yeah, I mean, I try to keep my emotions just steady, whether it's a good hole or bad hole. But I mean, a couple of big putts, I had a couple fist bumps or a couple par saves or birdies that some emotion came out, but then it was right back to even because I knew I had more shots to hit.
What's crazy is I think you're different on the golf course than you are on the basketball floor because you are like an emotional leader out there. You are animated as it gets when there's big things happening. How do you kind of compartmentalize those two things?
I think mostly because golf's kind of more of individual. I mean, our team made it, but you got to focus on your own round. So I just try to kind of not let myself beat up on myself during golf, but in basketball, then try to feed into your teammates and get them going too, and then feed off the energy that coaches and team surrounds you with.
All right, man. We just talked to Nick, and we need you to grade his jumper right now because, I mean, you're the guy, right? You guys are going to make a run. We think in basketball, again, you got a great leader, and you've got some great players in place. Talk about Nick's jumper. Like, can you criticize it a little bit? Can you give it an A, B, C? We'll leave it in those three ranges.
No, I think it's an A, but, I mean, he's so athletic, he doesn't even have to rely on his
look
jumper.
At you. Look at him. That's a great teammate.
That's a leader answer right there.
It's a great team. What about your jumper? What do you need to improve on in your game?
Just being more consistent, knock it down like as much as you can.
There's that word again, Steve. Consistency.
Yeah, well, let's talk consistency. My man right here was about as consistent as you can get on a basketball floor. As the former coach at Cardinal Mooney in basketball, Coach Palermo. I want to go back to that. That basketball run was phenomenal to watch on my end as a coach, as somebody that's awful proud of what Carey's doing there. But you were, without doubt, the glue of that basketball team. How fun was that? Because it was a basketball team, DJ, we talked about all the time when the pairings came out, really underlooked, but play a very good schedule.
Sounds really familiar to everything else Mooney does.
That Mooney does. How fun was that run to beat people as the underdog, and then you go into a golf championship, and you said it best, that's an individual, mental, mind-grueling sport. Mm-hmm. How exciting were those two experiences?
The basketball, I mean, it was really fun because every game we looked at, we felt that we were never underdogs in our own minds. So we never stepped onto the court being underdogs, and we were always good enough to beat the other team. So it was kind of the outside was just kind of more motivation than anything, that people didn't expect us to beat other teams, and we weren't expected to make that run. But we knew the whole time that we were capable of making runs like that. And I think it started with Coach P in that practice and just feeding the right mindset into us and just buying in and everything.
Grit.
Oh, yeah.
Grit. We talk about it all the time. A Camel Memorial, who we have at YSN, we're awful proud of. Not a whole lot of people other than the people in Cardinal Mooney's locker room thought they were going to win that basketball game, no doubt. You guys are gritty. Talk about some of the things you look forward to now as a senior. You were a leader last year. Now that leadership role goes up for both you and Nick this year. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of established that we were going to step into more of a leadership role this year with graduating 6 seniors last year. But I mean, I think we're more than capable. And the seniors last year prepared us for this year and just stepping up and then being more vocal leaders too. And then also in the games, lead by example and how you play and how you act while you play that. And then, but I mean, it starts in practice. It starts right now, weeks before the first game.
How do you manage expectations, right? So you wear the block M, you have Mooney across your chest, wherever, on the golf course, you got the hat, the polo. How do you manage expectations to every time you take a floor, every time you take a dribble, every time you take a shot, people are expecting you to be a champion because you wear the M?
Yeah, I think it starts with yourself. If you don't think you could do it, then you're not gonna do it. So once you overcome like yourself and establishing that you can do it, then you kind of just go out and play and let things take care of themselves. And then if you trust yourself and you trust your teammates, things work out a lot better.
Now everybody knows that you want the state championship, but so does 700 other teams in Ohio, right? What's one of the things that you really want to work on this year on the floor to make yourself a better leader, a better player, or things like that you can control and not so much the team?
Uh, just more of leading by example, and then also like during timeouts and in the locker room, stepping up vocally, and then being a guy that other guys can come to and ask, well, what do we do on this play, and like what do we do here, and just showing them, and then elevating them too, so that we're all on one level when we play as one team.
We talked to Nick about his family. Let's talk. I mean, you have an unbelievable
what a support
family.
system there.
My good Uncle Shane. I'd be remiss if I didn't say him. I mean, Shane Davis thinks an awful lot of you. Talk about your family, what they mean to you, and why they're so important in being the young man that you are today.
I mean, they've always been there, especially with golf. They'd drive me to all my tournaments. They'd always be there, always get me new clubs and everything. And my grandpa a lot helped me with golf, and he was always on the range with me, putting in extra time. And then, I mean, they're always at the games. They're always supporting, always got my back, whether you play good or bad. And, it's just unbelievable support from them.
Mr. Mooney?
That's an awesome answer. And from somebody from Mooney, for sure. I'm awful proud of that. I was awful proud of your state championship. No doubt in watching that basketball team. No question. Look forward to it again. I'm going to go to Dad. I know your dad and brother are here. How special was that to and DJ, you talked about this,
sure,
to win the state championship in golf. And I don't want to take anything, DJ, away from a team sport, because team sports help kids grow up and develop relationships forever. But what was that like to be a state champion and have your family right there with you after you're finished?
It was great because, I mean, the whole team qualified too, and my brother being on the team, so he was there, and I got to do everything with him there, and he was on the course too. So, I mean, I had a bunch of family come down too. So, I mean, to do it with a bunch of people watching, and then my brother there, and we both got to hold the trophy and qualify. It made it even more better.
Well, you set an example for your brother. Let's talk about your younger brother a little bit. What do you see? How do you see his progress as a golfer coming up a senior? Who's the better golfer? I got to believe it's probably you right now, but he looks pretty good over it. I think in 3 years he may be wanting to emulate what you did. Talk about your brother and his golf game a little bit.
I mean, he can compete with me on any given day. He's just got to not beat up on himself as much as he does.
How do you get over that? I mean, I'm sure you've beaten up on yourself a time or two. How do you kind of make that maturity?
I mean, I think it just comes with more reps in every tournament you get a little bit better at keeping in your mind and keeping it level and not getting too high, not getting too low. Because it's not just about when you play bad getting too low. I mean, you gotta not get too high on good stuff too, because then it'll all come crashing down, and then it's even harder to bounce back from that.
2 questions left for you. All right, who is the best golfer you've played against locally? Not on the Mooney team.
The best golfer I've played locally. I mean, I play a lot of rounds with Ryan Sam. He plays golf at YSU.
Yep.
He's a big part in developing in the player I am today. He showed me a lot of stuff about golf mentally and swing wise too. So he's definitely up there.
All right. And finally, your dad's here. What's the best advice Dad has ever given you that you take with you every day of your life?
Don't hit any shot he would.
Okay, so do you hit it better than Dad? That's the next
Way
question.
better than
you
Dad.
hit it way better than
Way
Dad.
better than Dad.
Here's my problem, DJ. We talk about beating yourself up on a golf course. When I go play, I beat myself up all the time because I can't keep the thing straight.
Yep.
Do you enjoy playing with Dad? I'm sure you do.
I love it. As I've gotten older and better, I think he enjoys it a little bit less because he's
Yes.
he's turned to using the handicap to get it to level out a little bit because if he played me straight up, it wouldn't be very
But
good.
wait a second. Now, handicaps are key when you get to be our age. Handicaps are key. You talked about Coach Davis. We talk to Coach all the time, how proud he is of this family, of you and your brother. What does that mean for you to have a Coach Davis that's a college coach and does a great job at YSU? It has to help you and your brother as athletes.
Yeah, it just shows us what it takes and what they expect at the next level and what you have to do to get to that next level.
I love it. There he is, the state champion.
Represents us very well, no doubt.
Oh, my gosh. We're so proud of you, man. So incredibly proud. Oh, one last thing. What did you order today at the Sports Grill?
Well, we got the we got the bacon ranch fries.
Bacon ranch
fries.
fries.
Those are great. And then I got the mango wings because that's my favorite.
That's
flavor.
your go-to.
Mango wings.
Love it. Dude, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thanks.
Rocco, the champ is here. The champ is going to take off. We appreciate him. We appreciate you. We'll be back with one more segment right here live from the Sports Grill on YSN Prime Time Live.